Hello, my name is Austin Hendricks, and I will be presenting on the dangers of AI-generated media, as well as proposing a redesign for the future. As you probably already know, AI has made incredible progress in recent years, leading to the creation of AI chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Bard, and many others, which can mimic human conversation and provide personalized assistance to users. However, AI is not limited to just conversation. Recently, we have seen the emergence of AI systems like DALL-E 2, which can generate output in other creative mediums such as art, video, and audio. These advancements in AI technology have far-reaching implications and are transforming the way we live, work, and interact with technology. To demonstrate the power of AI-generated art, I'd like to point you to these two images. Both of these were created completely by artificial intelligence. The one on the left is a futuristic-looking piece of digital art, while the one on the right is a totally different style. As you can see, the power of artificial intelligence in creating art is already very strong. There are a lot of creative applications where it could become a positive tool for productivity. Think visual effects, low-budget company logos, custom iPhone wallpapers, and much more. And art is not AI's only strong suit, but rather all forms of modern media: text, image, audio, video, and more. With all these examples in mind, AI sounds like a purely wonderful advancement. However, as you'll see in the next few slides here, AI-generated media is not always a good thing. Today, I want to unpack the current state of AI-generated media and make the case for a redesign that prioritizes ethical considerations and human well-being. First, let's consider the current state of AI-generated images and media. With the help of deep learning algorithms, computers are now able to generate realistic images, videos, and other media that are virtually indistinguishable from those created by humans. This technology has been used in a variety of ways, including video game development, special effects in movies, and even the creation of virtual models for fashion campaigns. However, the potential uses of this technology go far beyond entertainment and marketing. It can also be used to manipulate and deceive people on a massive scale. For example, AI-generated videos can be used to create deepfakes, which are videos that use AI to superimpose someone else's face onto another's body, making it appear as though the person in the video is saying or doing something that they never actually did. This has serious implications for the spread of misinformation and the erosion of trust in our institutions. Many of you will already know what deepfakes are, but if you do not, here is a very simple example of one. These are screenshots of someone making a personalized cameo-style video for profit as Tom Cruise. As you can see in the left half of the video, the man does share many similar features to Tom, but they're clearly not the same person. However, using AI deepfake technology, he was able to superimpose Tom Cruise's face onto his own in such a realistic way that he's able to make these videos as Tom Cruise for profit. And while this is a particularly harmless example, imagine if someone wanted to use this technology for more nefarious reasons than a simple celebrity cameo. Perhaps they wanted to deepfake you committing a crime you never committed, or performing some degrading action you would never do in real life that would change public perception of you. Another modern and frightening example is deepfaked audio clips, which is already the centerpiece of a rising new scam. Using AI deepfake technology on audio, scammers are able to replicate your voice and create very convincing audio clips of you saying things you've never said. In this scam, your voice will often be deepfaked to sound frantic and in dire need of help, asking for a sum of money to be wired to your account. Scammers will then call up your relatives, such as your sweet grandmother, with this fake recording of you in trouble. The audio clips can sound so convincing that people are falling for this scam at an alarming rate. There have been several articles published about the topic recently, one of the more notable linked at the bottom of the slide from NPR, which explains this scam in great detail and how to protect yourself from it if you're interested. If you've ever posted audio of your voice on the internet or spoke through the phone lines to scam call, you are at risk of this newly prevalent attack. The concern surrounding AI-generated media, commonly known as deepfakes, is one of the most urgent issues we face in the modern era. The potential for these images to be exploited in propaganda and disinformation campaigns is particularly alarming. The ability to fabricate incredibly realistic images of non-existent people or events that never occurred presents a dangerous prospect for the spread of misleading information and the manipulation of public opinion. The implications of this technology extend beyond the realm of individual belief systems and have significant consequences for the functioning of democratic societies and our ability to make informed decisions. The widespread dissemination of deepfakes could ultimately undermine trust in institutions, distort public discourse, and ultimately upend the very foundations of our democratic systems. Furthermore, the impact that AI-generated images could have on our sense of reality is another major concern. With the ability to create media that is indistinguishable from reality, from human-created media, we may begin to question the authenticity of all images we see online or in the media. This could lead to a breakdown in trust and a general sense of uncertainty about what is real and what is not. Imagine criminal trials in the future. Will video evidence no longer be enough to convict someone of a crime due to the prevalence of deepfake technology? Or, on the other hand, will this technology cause innocent people to be convicted on account of fake videos? Something to think about. And even more concerning is the impact that these deepfakes could have on international relations. In a world where political tensions are high and countries are constantly vying for power, the spread of false information or propaganda can have serious consequences. There is now a real threat that AI-generated images can be used to create fake videos or images of world leaders or military officials saying or doing something they never actually did. And this has happened in real life already. The example on the right shows a screenshot from a deep-faked video of Ukrainian President Zelensky ordering the Ukrainian troops and people to stand down and surrender to Russia. This video was used it was created by Russia as propaganda to try, obviously, to get Ukrainian people to stand down. So, while this time the propaganda video was quickly debunked, the next one may not be. As you can see, the proliferation of deepfakes could create a situation where no one knows what is real and what is not, making it difficult to establish trust. So with all these dangers lurking before us, you might be wondering what the current state of laws, regulation, and enforcement is against these forms of misleading AI-generated media. However, research will show you that there is not much. In an article by the Institute for Internet and the Just Society, the main guideline against this form of media is presented in Article 5.1 of EU General Data Protection Regulation, which says that personal data shall be accurate and, where necessary, kept up to date. Every reasonable step must be taken to ensure that personal data that are inaccurate, having regard to the purposes for which they are processed, are erased or rectified without delay. Basically, all this says is that inaccurate personal data, as it applies to deepfakes, must be deleted. Does this sound like an effective and enforceable guardrail to you? Me neither. With the rapid rise of AI along with its dangers, it is clear that the regulations and standards surrounding it need a massive overhaul. By this point in the presentation, it should be becoming clear to you that artificial intelligence, with its ability to create realistic and convincing forms of media, alongside the lack of regulation surrounding it, presents a massive opportunity for mass manipulation of the public. And as the technology of generative AI continues to improve, the fact that something was created by AI will be virtually undetectable. Just imagine in the very near future, someone could speak into a natural language processing AI and describe that they want a campaign that fabricates fake evidence of a political opponent committing a crime. The AI program then interprets this request and automatically creates several convincing images, audio clips, and videos, and then automatically shares them across social platforms in such a way that is guaranteed to go viral. This may sound dystopian to you, but it is becoming all too real very quickly. We need a redesign fast. In the book Post-Truth, Lee McIntyre writes, "With no form of editorial control over what is now sometimes presented as news, how can we know when we're being manipulated?" This same idea can be applied to AI-generated media. With no form of control over what is now sometimes presented as authentic media, how can we know that we're being manipulated? So what worldview and paradigms support the current state of AI-generated media? First, allow me to remind you what a paradigm is. According to Thomas Kuhn and outlined in Sismondo's The Kuhnian Revolution, a paradigm defines a generally accepted framework through which people analyze the world around them. Sismondo writes, the theoretical side of a paradigm serves as a worldview, providing categories and frameworks into which to slot phenomena. The practical side of a paradigm serves as a form of life, providing patterns of behavior or frameworks for action. Thomas Kuhn also defines the term normal science, which is the methods and ways of doing things which support the current paradigm. In the following slides, I will define the modern paradigms supporting the current state of AI, as well as what normal science looks like within those paradigms. There are several paradigms supporting the current state of this matter. First is a worldview that values efficiency and profit over ethics and human well-being. Normal science within this paradigm prioritizes technological progress and innovation at all costs, without considering the potential negative consequences. It assumes that technological progress is always good and that it will inevitably lead to a better future. Another paradigm supporting the current state of AI-generated media is centered around the concept of free speech, which allows individuals to express themselves without censorship. Normal science within this paradigm upholds the idea that people should have the right to create and share content, regardless of its truthfulness or legitimacy. Additionally, the paradigm of individual privacy and protection of personal information may clash with the proliferation of AI-generated images, as deepfakes have the potential to violate the privacy of individuals by creating realistic images or videos of them without their consent. These paradigms all contribute to the current state of things in AI-generated images and influence the ethical trade-offs and potential implications of this technology. So as I mentioned, the prominent worldview that supports the current state of AI-generated media assumes that technological progress is always good and that it will inevitably lead to a better future. But is this really the case? We must be cautious and considerate when it comes to implementing new technologies. We must think about the potential consequences and weigh them against the benefits. And we must always prioritize human well-being over efficiency and profit. Therefore, I propose a redesign of AI-generated media that prioritizes ethical considerations and human well-being. This redesign would involve a greater focus on transparency and accountability in the development and use of AI-generated media. It would also involve stricter regulations and guidelines to prevent the spread of misinformation and the manipulation of public opinion by AI-generated media. In order to curb the dangers of AI-generated media, we first need to implement regulations and guidelines that are specific, enforceable, and effective. I would like to suggest a few specific regulations and guidelines that could be implemented to address some of the most pressing issues related to AI-generated media. Firstly, there should be a mandatory labeling of all AI-generated media. Just as food products are required to have labels indicating their ingredients and nutritional information, AI-generated media should have labels indicating that they are created using artificial intelligence. This would help to prevent the spread of misinformation by making it clear to the viewer that the media they are consuming is not necessarily human-created. Secondly, there should be strict regulations around the use of deepfakes. It should be illegal to use deepfakes for the purpose of deceiving or manipulating the public, and those who create or distribute deepfakes for malicious purposes should be held accountable for their actions. One way to enforce this regulation could be through the use of forensic techniques that can detect when a video has been altered using AI. Finally, there should be an independent regulatory body established to oversee the development and use of AI and AI-generated media. This body could be responsible for enforcing regulations and guidelines, investigating complaints, and monitoring the use of AI-generated media to ensure that it is being used in an ethical and responsible manner. In terms of enforcement, there could be fines and penalties for those who violate regulations and guidelines. Additionally, there could be requirements for companies and individuals to undergo regular training and education around the use of AI-generated media. These regulations and guidelines should focus on promoting transparency and accountability, preventing the spread of misinformation, and ensuring that AI-generated media is used in an ethical and responsible manner. With the right regulations and enforcement mechanisms in place, we can ensure that the benefits of AI-generated media are realized while minimizing the potential negative consequences. At this point, you may be thinking to yourself, these ideas sound fantastic in theory, but how can we actually accomplish these things in real life? What is a specific, realistic, and implementable solution? Well, after much thought, I believe I have a pretty solid idea of how we can make this work. As a computer science major, the topics surrounding AI are of particular interest to me. And with my emphasis on information security, I was able to come up with a solution that combines modern cryptography and steganography, which I'll define momentarily, that is a realistic, specific, implementable, and even efficient design to curb the ever-increasing dangers of AI-generated media that we face today. First of all, what is modern cryptography? First of all, what is modern cryptography? And what parts of it can apply to making AI safer? Modern cryptography, in essence, is what makes the digital world secure. It consists of mathematical algorithms and techniques that can securely encrypt data in the presence of adversaries, as well as secure communication between parties. Modern cryptography provides confidentiality, integrity, and more to help secure digital communication. One relevant example, which will play a large part in my redesign, is the idea of digital signatures. These are complex, virtually unfakeable ciphers or signatures that verify to a receiver of a data packet that the sender truly is who they say they are. They are also how you can know for sure that the person on the other end of your communication is really who you think it is, and it prevents adversaries from being able to impersonate someone that they are not. Digital signatures will play a huge role in my redesign, so keep these in mind as I explain the other key cornerstone of my idea. The next key part of my redesign is based upon the technique of steganography. Steganography is the art of hiding a message within a cover medium, such as a seemingly innocent body of text, an image, audio, or video files. One of the most prominent methods of steganography is LSB steganography, with LSB standing for least significant bit. LSB steganography is a technique that involves hiding information within the least significant bits of a cover medium, such as an image, audio, or video file. And one of the main strengths of this method is its simplicity. It's relatively easy to implement. Additionally, it could be used to hide a significant amount of data in a cover medium without significantly affecting its quality. For example, least significant bit steganography allows someone to hide several bytes of information within a 720p image file without even marginally altering the appearance of the image. Take a look at the images below. You'll see that the image on the left and the image on the right are visually indistinguishable. However, computer algorithms will be able to show that the image on the right has the message "attack at midnight" encoded within its data representation. So, if you already see where I'm going with all of this, the answer is yes. It would be very feasible for cover mediums, such as images, audio, and videos, to conceal a secure digital signature within them without altering their appearance. So let's go ahead and combine these ideas into what is my idea for redesign. So now that these ideas have been introduced, I'm going to go ahead and spell it out for you. Combining ideas from digital signatures and steganography, we can effectively watermark all content that has been generated by artificially intelligent algorithms. A regulatory body could establish that all AI algorithms capable of generating media must use public key cryptography to embed a digital signature within whatever media it produces, or else face heavy fines and penalties, as well as be flagged as not secure. Due to the complexity of these generative AI algorithms, as well as the mathematical security of digital signature techniques, it would be extremely difficult for a malicious actor to create their own generative AI algorithm without these watermarks. This solution would be at no detriment to the quality of AI-generated media, but would provide a way for algorithms to very easily recognize that something is AI-generated by extracting the hidden watermark and analyzing the digital signature. Not only could this provide great insight into whether or not something was created by AI, but it could also include data about what specific AI algorithm created it, when it was created, and more. Just imagine seeing a video on social media that looks very real, but is flagged as AI-generated content so that you are not misled by it. All of these things would do wonders of preventing AI-generated misinformation and deeply hinder the ability of adversaries to manipulate the masses. This redesign would require a fundamental shift in our paradigm from one that values technological progress at all costs to one that prioritizes ethics and human well-being. We must recognize that the technology is not neutral, but rather it is shaped by the values and worldviews of those who create it. Therefore, we must be intentional about the values we prioritize when developing new technologies. In conclusion, AI-generated images and media have the potential to manipulate the masses and erode trust in our institutions. Therefore, we must prioritize ethical considerations and human well-being in the development and use of this technology. We must shift our paradigm from one that values technological progress at all costs to one that prioritizes ethics and human well-being. Only then can we ensure that the future we build is one that we would like to live in. Here's my bibliography, and thank you for listening.